Shalom, shalom. I like to start this video by giving all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles, elder, and bishops of Great Millstone, teaching and ruling well. Salutation to the hopeful elect of the house of Israel, peace and blessing unto those that keep the law, statutes, and commandments until the return of Yahushai. All right. So this is a quick lesson, Lord willing. This will be edifying, and it's a lamb back from the video that Apostle Racha did pertaining to fighting. This is you have to fight, all right? And this fight is a spiritual fight because we fight against spirituality, the evils in high places. All right, it's a spiritual battles, man. We fight demons in a sense, you know. And we're not to move carnally, we're to move in the spirit. All right, so let's get started. Lord willing, this will be edifying. So it says here in Matthew 4:1, then was Yahushua led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. So it was all in the spirit that he did that. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterwards and hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command these stones to be made bread. So that's one thing that the devil comes and, as it says, the tempter. That's one thing that he does. He comes to you at your weak point. He comes to you when you're shaky. He comes to you when you're down. Because when you're in the spirit, he's not gonna try to tempt you, man. When you're fully in sync with the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, the devil's not gonna try to deal with you, man. All right, he wants to come to you at your weakest point, man. Because like I said, it's a fight, so he wants to win too. All right, because he knows that when you're in the spirit, he can't win. He can't defeat us when you're in the spirit. So, but in a sense, because we're in this flesh, we can't be in the spirit 100%. Right? So at that moment when you're not in the spirit, that's when the devil's going to come and attack you. He said that Yahushua was hungered. He was at a weak point. You know, he came to Yahushua when he was at his weakest. But unbeknownst to him, he was actually strong in the spirit. And that's the mindset that we still have to have, man. Even when we're weak in the flesh, we still have to be strong in the spirit. As it says, the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. Or the spirit is willing and the flesh is weak. Right? So it says here, and when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command these stones to be made bread. And that's what the tempter comes. He says, if he comes, and he's trying to plant doubt. Man, the Lord isn't dealing with you. You know, if the Lord is dealing with you, you wouldn't be in this situation. Why are you going through hell right now? You know, this and that. You know. But the tempter, the devil, only his purpose is to sow the confusion, plant doubt, you know, to make you weaker in the spirit, to make you fall off, as Yahushua said unto Peter, Satan desires to have you, to sift you as wheat, to destroy you, man. You see. But what did Yahushua say unto the devil? But he answered and said, it is written, men shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High. Okay? As it is written. So we fight the devil. The way that we fight the devil, how do we resist the devil, is by the scriptures. Being fervent in the spirit, abstaining from evil, and using the word. The word is the best weapon that we have against this devil, man. Our precepts, you know. The word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that's what that's our best spiritual weapon that we have at this point, man, in this warfare. And then it says, the devil taking him up into the holy city and setting him on the pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, if thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. So again, the devil knows the scriptures too, man. And see, he's quoting scriptures too. How should I tell him it was written? And he's coming back and he says it is written, you know. But you have to watch out, man, because you have to see when people are, you have to have discernment. Because at this moment, he was distorting the scriptures. You see? He was many people nowadays, they hold the Bible, but they're not preaching the proper gospel. That's what you have to understand, man. Right? A lot of people are deceivers. They're using the word of Yahweh Bashar Shai to deceive the people, not to lead them the correct way. Okay? And Yahweh Shai said unto him, it is written again. You see? So he's still using the scriptures. He's still swinging that spiritual sword. You see? And Yahweh Shai said, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. You see? So Satan was using the scripture out of context. And Yahweh Shai came back with another precept. Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. Again, the devil taking him up in the exceeding high mountain and shoot him all the kingdoms of the world. You see, at this point, he realized, okay, I can't beat him because, you know, even at his weakest, he's still strong through the Spirit, and he knows the scriptures too well for me to cut him through the scriptures. So what can I do? I can show him the glory of the world. I can show him the kingdoms. Okay, I can't beat him because I can't beat him in the Spirit. I can't beat him in the word. So what can I do? Let me bring him. Let me see if he will fall through vanity, through the lust of the riches, through the lust of the world. Okay, so again, the devil taking him up into an exceeding high mountain and shoot him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee. All these things will I give thee if thou shalt fall down and worship me. And then said Yahweh Shai unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. So after all the temptation, the angels came and took care of Yahweh Shai, man. They came and they comforted him. You know, they took care of him, man. You see, but the devil, he had to flee. He couldn't stay there, man. He saw, man, this guy is not for my turn. He doesn't even want to worship me. He's not for wickedness. He's not for my turn. So he had to leave. You see, can two walk together lest they agree? So Satan couldn't walk with Yahweh Shai. You see? So it says here, in Ephesians 6:11, put on the whole armor of the Most High. And that's exactly what Yahweh Shai had on, man. He had the whole armor of the Most High. Okay? That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. You see? The devil is going to push. He's going to push until he realizes, I can't win right now. I'll come back later. See? Because it's a daily battle. You see, we're fighting the devil each and every day, man. It's not one time you win and that's it, man. This is a constant, it's a marathon. To be in this truth is a marathon, man. And you have to endure until the end, to the best of your ability, right? Because at the end of the day, man, you need that armor. You need to have that armor at its fullest. Because if you're missing one piece of if one piece of the armor is weak, that's where Satan is gonna attack you. You see, like I said, Yahweh Shai was hungry. He came and he asked him. He told him, turn these things into bread. Yahweh Shai cut him, and then he said, okay, you know what? Let me use the scriptures to cut him again. You know, Satan tried to use the scriptures, but it didn't work. Yahweh Shai cut him again. So he said, okay, no, I can't cut him through the flesh. I can't cut him through the spirit. Let me see if he's gonna fall to the riches. He's gonna fall to the lust of the world. But it's still done. Yahweh Shai defeated him. So after the 3 is understanding. You see. So after he was defeated 3 times, he said, okay, man, I understand that I can't beat him right now. So let me leave. You know. But again, we as servants of Yahweh Shai, we need to have the full armor of the Most High. So like it.
Breaking down the scriptures wrong when you.
Okay. So it says here, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This is the fight. This is the battleground. This is the opponent. Okay? Principalities, powers, rulers of darkness of this world, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Those are the true enemies, man. When you see some bug out coming and and pissing you off, doing things to irritate you. You know, your woman out at home pissing you off. Those are this is a spiritual fight, because the devil has entered into these people to come and bother you. Okay, he entered into these people to come and upset you, take you away from the spirit, to make you act carnally. Okay, but if you have, again, the whole armor of the Most High, you'll be able to defeat the wiles of the devil. Okay, so it says here, wherefore take up unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand the evil day. The evil day meaning the bad day to come. The evil meaning bad time. Okay, because the Jacob's trouble is going to be a time of destruction, time of lamentation, a time of horror, man. All right, you won't be able to trust your neighbor. Things are gonna go. It's gonna go south real quick, man. You see, it's gonna be a time like no ever time was since the beginning of humanity, man. Worse than slavery, worse than World War I, World War II, all that combined, worse than the flood, man. When Yahweh Bashem Yahushai flooded the whole earth, that's gonna be worse than that, man. So you need that whole armor, man. Because if you're not it says the wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. So if you don't have that knowledge and understanding, you're gonna be destroyed, man. You're gonna be destroyed on that side, man. If you're not walking in the spirit, if the Lord's not with you in the time of trouble, you won't make it, man. You won't make it, man. You're either gonna be killed on this side, or you're gonna be destroyed with nuclear fire. You know, either way, there's gonna be you're gonna be in a bad state, man. That's why it says evil time, right? The evil day. Okay, and having done all to stand therefore, having your loins gird about with the truth, this doctrine. So you know the doctrine, and having the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Okay, above all, taking the shield of faith, because you need faith, man. Above all, you need faith. You might have, if you have all these things, you have the scriptures, you know all the precepts, but you don't believe in it. What's the point? Okay, you can quote any precepts from Genesis to Revelation, even the Apocrypha. You can quote all that, but you don't have faith. What is the point? Okay, so it says here, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High, the sword of the Spirit. So when Satan came to tempt Yahushai had a sword on him, man. He was cutting and slicing, you know, as it says, the word is a two-edged sword, cutting asunder even the spirit, man. Roughly paraphrasing, man. The word is a two-edged sword, man. To the point where Satan got vexed. He got vexed in the spirit. It's like, damn, man. I can't make this guy fall, man. Because ultimately, what's Satan's job? Satan's job is to deceive. Okay, he's to deceive and to take people away from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's his job. Okay, but when he couldn't do it, when Yahweh Shai was cutting and slicing him up with the word, he's like, shit, man. This fellow is making my job harder than it should be, man. Shit, let me go deal with an Edomite instead, you know? Shit, you know? But again, you know, Yahweh Shai had the full armor. I'm gonna say this: Yahweh Shai had the full armor of the Spirit. He had the full armor of the Most High. He was walking with it through the end of his through the end of his journey. Okay, so he had the armor of the Spirit, and this is what we have to put on for this spiritual battle. We must have the full armor of the Spirit, right? So it says here in Proverbs 24 and 16, for a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Okay, so a just man will fall 7 times. 7 meaning completion. You are gonna, you know, like I said, you're in the flesh. You can't be in the spirit all like from morning to night. Yo, just a simple thought can cause you to sin. Sin is, you know, as soon as it's planted in your mind, you start imagining it. You know, now you're finding ways to convince yourself that it's right, you know, and then you end up doing it. But it starts with a seed. It starts with an idea in your mind, man. Because that's the best. One thing I realized, you know, being in this truth, man, sin really starts in the mind, man. So if you can stop it at the source, as soon as you start thinking wickedness and things like that, you cut it short, man. You rebuke yourself as soon as possible, man. Because if you don't rebuke yourself in the while it's still just in the seed, while it's still just in your mind, when you haven't produced the act, you know, then eventually it's gonna happen, man. You see, before you commit adultery, you think about it. You see, this woman, she told me she had a man, but she looks good and she's feeling me, and her husband is never home. He's always at work. He's not taking care of her. You see, so she wants me, and if I go to her place, I know I'm gonna smash. You know, it starts in the mind, man. So at that time already, you have to, okay, yo, man, this is wicked. You have to take a look in the mirror and say, yo, this ain't right. I have to stop myself. You see, I have to rebuke myself. But again, if a just man falleth 7 times, and this is the mercy that Yahweh B'Hashem Yahshua has given unto us, for he put, because right now we're in a grace period, and we're rehearsing the righteous act. You see, but it's not because we're in the grace period that we we will sin. You know, we do not. The Lord did not give us license to sin just because we're in a grace period, right? So it says here in Ecclesiastes 7:16, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why should thou die before thy time? Okay, so that's the thing. We are in the flesh. The flesh is a beast of his own, man. The flesh is a beast of his own. You have to feed the flesh as well, man. The Lord said, a righteous balance is my delight, and unrighteous balance is an abomination. Okay, we are in this flesh, so you have to feed the flesh as well. You can't be in your basement levitating and reading the scriptures day and night, day in and day out. You never go to work. You're just there. The brother, we had a class yesterday, and the brother was saying that you know these guys, man. You know something's wrong when the guy's doing the live. He's been going live on YouTube for the past 8 hours. You went to work. You're coming back from your shift. The guy's still on live, man. What's going on? Every day, man. Every day the guy's doing lives, 8 hours. Yo, when is he working? When is he sleeping? What's that something's not right, man. You see? But again, it tells you not to be righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise, man. To make yourself over wise, man, that's wickedness, man, in a sense, man. You see? You were in this flesh, you have to feed the flesh as well, man. Right? No, I'm fasting. You've been fasting for the past 30 days, man. Now you can see the skins, you can see the bone on your skin, man. You know, you look sick, you see? Come on, man. Don't be overly wise, man. You see? There's nothing wrong to go to the movies. There's nothing wrong to go out. There's nothing wrong to hang out with your friends. As long as you come back you feed the flesh and you come back to the spirit, right? Because at the end of the day, we're men, you know? We're men, we're women, you know? We have the flesh has its needs, you know? So sometimes you just have to, man, to just feed the flesh enough, you know, because there's a limit, you know. Don't cross that limit. You feed the flesh enough to have to appease the beast, in a sense, you know, to appease the flesh, and then you're back in the spirit, right? So that, you know, be not overly righteous, you know, and that's the reason why a just man falleth 7 times. You know, most of the time when you fall is because you cross that line. You cross that line where it's like to the point where you feed the flesh too much, you know. When you feed the flesh too much, it might lead you into sin, okay? But it says here in Romans 8:20, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by the reason of him who had subjected him, in the same hope. For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, what doth he yet hope for? Okay, so again, we are made subject unto vanity. Okay, so the Lord wanted us to we're subject unto vanity, so we can cleave unto Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Okay, so we can understand that we cannot make it ourselves. We need Yahushua. He's the only one that could do it, and he's our mediator, and through him we will obtain salvation. It's not of ourselves. It's Yahushua. Through Yahushua we have obtained grace. Through Yahushua we have obtained salvation. Through Yahushua we have been reconnected with the Father, man. It's solely through Yahushua that we can obtain salvation. All right. So that's why we were subjected unto vanity, by the same in hope. Okay. So it says here in 2 Ezra 16:75, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, said the Lord. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquity lift up themselves. Okay, so so it tells you, you're not. It tells us sin less, man. We're not supposed to be out here constantly seeking to do evil, man. You see, we're not supposed to be transgressing the law, man. See, of course we're not saved by the law, but we keep the law, because the work with faith without works is dead. Keeping the law is a part of showing that you believe. Okay. And again, the Lord said, "What? I am the guide of them who keep my commandments." Okay, so in order to that's how you know that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is in you, is with you, because he put that spirit in you to obey his voice. Okay, verse 77, woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquity, like a field that is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. And that man speaking about Yahushua. You're so polluted, you're so enticed with sin, that you can't even let the light inside you. That's why it says what? Man loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. A man that is like that, a man that is in darkness like that, and hates the light, is because their body, their field, in a sense, is covered with thorns and bushes. It hasn't been taken care of. You see, he doesn't even love himself enough to abstain from wickedness. Okay, so it says here, it is left undressed and cast into the fire to be consumed. And what is that fire? The nuclear missiles, and ultimately destruction. All right. So because if you did not hearken unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you did not seek to better yourself, to follow after the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you're gonna be destroyed. Okay. So it says here in Isaiah 30:1, woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with a covering but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. So that's what they do. You see, and what did it say before? It says, let not your sins weigh you down. But those rebellious children, when you rebel, it's to go to war again, to go back to war. So these people are going back to war against the Most High, just so they can add sin to sin. They're in darkness, and they do not want to come to the light, because they know their deeds are evil. And that's the mindset that's the difference between those that want to seek the Lord, that keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and those that are in the world in total darkness. You see, not knowing that the way that they're walking is gonna lead them into destruction. Okay. So it says here, in Romans 6:14, for sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? The Most High forbid. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death, or of obedience unto righteousness. You see, so that's the difference. Either you're going to obey sin and find death, or obey Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and find life. Okay. It says here in Sirach 21:1, my son, hast thou sinned? Do so no more, but ask pardon for thy former sins. So that's ultimately what you have to do, because as I said before, a just man falleth 7 times. But again, he's going to have that guilt. He's going to have that feeling like, okay, I done wrong. He's going to be ashamed, because as it says in my inward parts, I want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You see? But it says here, my son, hast thou sinned? Do so no more, but ask pardon for thy former sins. right? And it says here in Sirach 17 and 24, but unto them that repent, he granted them return, and comforted those that fail it in patience. Return unto the Lord and forsake thy sin. That's the most important. You have to forsake your sins, right? There's a precept that says, "What good is your cleansing unto them that touch a dead body? If you go and shower yourself and go back and touch the same body, such are they that are that fast for their sins and go back and do them again, right? The Lord is not like a lottery ticket where you win lottery and then you spend all your money and then you go back to playing lottery to hope that you're gonna be forgiven. The don't the what shows that you're really trying is that you're fighting. You keep on fighting and not allowing you to repeat the same mistakes. You have to learn from the mistakes and not repeat them, right? Ultimately, you have to try not to commit the same sins, man, because you have to become a new creature, right? Put off the old conversations of the old man, right? To become a new creature and to better yourself each and every day is to not commit the same action that you've done. But again, you're in the flesh. I'm not using that as an excuse. We understand that we're in the flesh, but the first thing is that you have to keep on fighting. Keep on fighting, man. Hence the name of this lesson. Fight. It's a fight. Okay? So again, it says here, return unto the Lord and forsake thy sins. Make thy prayer before his face and offend less. Offend less. You used to smoke weed. Try not to smoke anymore. Little by little. You used to smoke every day. Yeah, now let's say, okay, you smoke once a week to the point where you don't smoke anymore. It's about progression. It's about bettering yourself. And it's not something that you do overnight. It's a process, and we understand it. Some things you're able to cut to stop cold turkey, but some things that you might have to take your time and progressively stop. So it says here in Galatians 5 and 16, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lusts of the flesh. For the flesh lusted against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary one to another, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Okay? So walk in the spirit. The same way that Yahushua walked in the spirit. How did he overcome Satan? How did he overcome the tempter? He was in the spirit 100%. And Yahushua is our model. He's our idol, man. He's the one that we're supposed to walk after, man. You see? The Yahushua, starting with Yahushua, his disciples, the prophets, those the men that seek after the script, read the book, man, and look, did any of those that sought the Lord were forsaken or confounded? No, man, because they had the fear of the Lord. They were walking in the statutes and in the ways of the Lord, and the Lord kept them. Even in temptation, the Lord found a way to deliver them. You see. So it says here in Romans 8 and 31, what shall we say then to these things? If the Most High be for us, who can be against us? Okay. Verse 33, Romans 8 and 33, who shall lay anything to the charge of the Most High? Zelect. It is the Most High that justifieth. Okay. So Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua are the ones that are going to say, okay, regardless of the sins that this man committed, he's one of the elect. He was preordained to obtain salvation because he kept my law, statutes, and commandments. And how much more with Yahweh Shai that's standing in front of the Father for us? You're telling, Father, I know this man has committed sins. I know he's under the law. He is guilty, but he had faith. He had faith in my name. He tried his best, and I myself know the temptation of the flesh. So I can tell that this man was doing his best, and through his faith he overcame the world. All right. So again, to the point that you have to fight. Don't offend less. Forsake thy sins. Okay. At the end of the day, it's something that you have to tell yourself. It's a constant battle, because at the end of the day, it's easy to succumb to the flesh. But as it said, what did it say? To him that you obey, you're a servant. So it's either you're gonna serve the Lord or you're gonna serve your flesh. Okay, because it says what the flesh and the spirit are contrary one to another. There's a constant friction. There's a constant conflict, and that's a part of the fight too. You're fighting Satan, but at the same time, you're fighting yourself. You see? So at the end of the day, it starts in the mind. You see? Where your mind is at is where your treasure is at. This is where your mind is at too. So if your mind is in the world, you're gonna fall to the flesh. But if your mind is in the spirit, you're gonna fall to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. So this being said, I hope this lesson was edifying. Keep fighting. Keep the faith. You know. Don't. You know, if you lack in faith, if you lack in wisdom, pray. You know, seek for the Lord to increase whatever you're missing. You know, to pray for the Lord to equip you to be ready to fight this spiritual fight, man. To keep on fighting this fight, man. To restore your spiritual your armor. Ask the Lord to provide you with the full armor of the Most High, and that it may be impregnable. Okay, that the devil might not find a way to slip in and overtake you. All right. So that being said, I hope this lesson was edifying. I like to give all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Machakodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elders, apostles, and bishop of Great Millstone, teaching and ruling well. Salutation to the hopeful elect of the house of Israel. Shalom. All right. Peace and blessing. Until next lesson, DTA Baba Ba, Kwam Yasha Allah. Shalom.